The fear of missing out is going to cost you more than you realize. I don't know when FOMO started coming back into 2023 so soon, but apparently it's starting to grip people, and it's something I think we should talk about. This is that moment in the video where I'd say, hey, welcome back. It's MTG Mox, man. How y'all doing today? Thanks for being here on the channel. And of course, I do appreciate everyone being here. But it's the idea, especially for Dominaria Remastered, being a reprint set. Nobody out there can't tell me they can't find a Sylvan Library, and nobody out there can't find a Force of Will. They're out there. They're available. It's a reprint set. But the conversations I was hearing around the tables as I visited a few LGSs this weekend were really surprising to me. The idea that FOMO was coming back like this, where players were afraid they were missing out on hidden value somewhere down the road. Oh, what happens if Wizards short runs this set? What happens if there's only like Time Spiral Remastered? It's like one little printing of it and it's done. What does that mean? It means absolutely nothing. Nothing. If you honestly think they've underprinted this set when they would have had contracts signed, you're fooling yourself. Okay? It's available, and it's going to be available for years. Do not let FOMO grip into you, that fear of missing out. You can get excited about a product. You can go in and draft and experience it, buy a few packs and crack into it, but do not spend hard-earned money thinking this product's not going to exist. Wizards has done that enough to us, where you have that idea of, oh, it's around, it's going to be gone. No, it's always going to be there for years to come. It is going to be sitting in shelves, and if it's not on a shelf, it's at distribution level somewhere, waiting to come out onto the market. It will be there. There is no point in investing hard-earned money to get hyped up and have it sit on your shelf for years as a dead asset with no equity being built inside that product, unless for the one-off that it's going up. Don't let anybody influence you otherwise into thinking you're missing out on something when you're probably not. This is not a standard set. This isn't 2007, 2008, when it was kind of a one-and-done print situation. The way Wizards of the Coast has done their last 10 years of marketing and products is they've been building on building on building and creating a larger and larger amount to be available to the player base. Those contracts are still in effect. It doesn't matter how much we hate Wizards or how angry people are. The contracts are in place. The checks have been signed, and they're still going to be sitting there waiting to be bought. They are going to be around. You're not missing out. And if you're a person who is dying to get a Force of Will, I can name several stores right now that have a glut of them that they're not even taking trade-in on Force of Will. If you think you're missing out on Sylvan Library, go buy an original Legends one. Get where the real value would be for the possible future of a card like that with an original printing of something. There's nothing in this set that is so desirable and sought after that you have to have it now. Vampiric Tutor, come on, the thing's been printed a dozen times. And I'm excited for the set. I really do want to play it. I saw a couple of those stores had like the pre-release, you know, where you get like 3 packs and you're building your deck. It was awesome to see those players go at it. I didn't have the time this weekend. I won't be doing it until next weekend. But the idea of it is very exciting to me, and that's why I'm buying a box myself. 1 box to share with some friends. We're going to split it up and have a good time. And for all those people out there who say, look at all that value. You know, you have other content creators saying, there's like $700 of value in that box. You've got to get in there. No, you don't. I'm telling you, you really don't. Break that box down. Let's say you get a collector box for $500 Canadian. You get $700 of value. But you go to trade in, and most stores don't want the trade in, or they're trading you 50 cents on the dollar because they have so many copies on the shelf. They don't need it. It's a reprint set. It's going to be fun. It's got a great build, and I like how they put it together. But the value will be in playing the product, not the secondary market value. If you're thinking those cards are going to be snapping up and worth lots of money, and I'm tired of some of those content creators saying there's going to be tons there, keeping it sealed could be an asset down the road. That's true. But it's going to be sitting on a shelf for years. And when you have a product like that that will be sought, there will be some players who want that product 10 years from now. There will be. But for the next 4 to 5 years, it's going to be on the shelves and it's going to be available. it's not going to be overpriced and it's not going to be disappearing. It's just going to be sitting there collecting dust. And if it does happen to get bought out and disappear, did you have enough leverage equity to really make money on it? Did you have a sales outlet to sell the product? Could you put $50,000, $60,000 in to buy enough of that product to make the return on the investment you'd want to make? No, probably not. So don't miss out on thinking you had all kinds of value coming your way. If you think you're missing out, like FOMO, oh my God, if I don't buy this now, nothing happened. You didn't lose anything. No value was lost. Because like myself, who buys maybe a case on a really good set, I can't even have that kind of leverage. And I buy products all the time. It's only recently I've cut back right now because I'd rather go for cards that have set value to me. Like I want to complete an Arabian Nights set. There's other things I'm after. And so should some of you guys. If there's FOMO in your heart where you think you're missing out, rationalize it. Sit on it for a few weeks. Let your mind mull it over. Ask yourself why you want to get it so badly. Is it to keep up with the Joneses? You got some friends who went all in, and I'm not saying you can't go in and buy some. But if it's a single card you're after, rationalize that and go buy the single card. If you want to draft with some friends, split a box with some friends, absolutely. But make sure the reasoning behind why you want a product like this is really kind of set the way you want it to be. Don't be pushed in, bullied in, or talked into anything when it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars of value, when you're not really sure that that's where you should be spending your money. When you actually take the time to think about it, you will probably not have to second guess yourself. And that's something said, like that's something to really think about. Now, for people who were on my channel, you remember when Time Spiral came out, I said it should have been a regular booster box price because it's still a reprint set. They're cards that already exist on the secondary market. They have been kind of crammed together and put together as a draft experience. I like the idea of it, but that doesn't command a premium price. Dominaria Remastered, although it will be a fun experience, and I can't wait to experience it myself, it is not something that if I missed out on, I would die from. It is not a be-all, end-all moment of my life of memories that says I have to have that product. It is it. I feel stronger about Dominaria United than I do about Dominaria Remastered. I like the idea of Sarah Angel and great old cards coming back, and the nostalgia of doing it is going to be amazing. I have no doubt. But at the same time, does that mean it should be $300 Canadian a box? No, it really shouldn't. If they put that box at that $140 to $150 price, they would have had a lot more going for it in my eyes than it would at the price it's at, because the return on that is going to be so low unless you keep it sealed and can sit on it a long time, or you let it sit on the LGS's store shelf for a number of years before you finally buy it. Either way, it doesn't have to be bought now in my eyes unless you're just doing the draft experience. And the collector boxes, to me, they hold no value. It's a super premium product with no new cards in it. To me, it's worthless. It doesn't have any value. It's not a product I would rather go after. Phyrexia, All Will Be One. March of the Machines, any of the new sets coming up, because those all have new cards, new mechanics, new ideas and thoughts. Those cards won't get reprinted for a number of years before they get cycled through and added to these reprint sets. Remember that kind of stuff. When you're looking for that kind of value or potential value, those have a better chance than these kind of products. When you look at any of the Ultimate Masters, Eternal Masters, Masters 2017, a lot of these boxes command high prices, but they don't sell often. They're still available LGS level because they're expensive, they're premium, and nobody wants to buy at that price, which means that actually is not what they're worth. What they're worth is when somebody actually buys it. So really, if you had to race to the bottom to see how much it would cost for one of those boxes to sell, you'd probably be pretty surprised how low it would have to go. Because Wizards is always one-upping themselves on new products. And this is where people fail to see it sometimes, and they get caught up in the moment. Wizards is great at getting that hype train going and getting the players on board. I just want to remind people that there's a lot of really important things you can spend your money on. There's a lot of good moments and memories with family and friends, and I want what's best for everyone. When I look at everything, I want what's best for the people around me, and this is one of those products I don't feel is the best. It's great, it's loaded, it's got good stuff, but if you've tried to sell those products in the secondary market, Have you seen what happens, right? 50% of your... It's not the same because there's no one actually keeping that value in place saying you must spend this much to get that card. There's no secondary market guaranteeing things, right? The economy of Magic is a no-holds-barred world of Magic. If I want to sell you a Mox for $5, I can. There's nobody saying you have to pay me $5,000. And it's the same for sets like this. Just be careful out there, guys. Don't let FOMO take hold. Reason it out. Wait a few days, decide for yourselves. And thanks again, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to me rant about this, because I just heard so much of it this weekend that it kind of worried me. When there was that many people excited about opening a Force of Will or getting a Sylvan Library, it just didn't seem rational when they had them sitting right there in the glass display case. It's right there in the case. So weird. FOMO, man. What are you going to do? Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video.